You saw the clip on fear last night. Now, I already know virtually everybody how you would react if that was you in that situation. Every single one of you. Why do I know that, Christoph?
Because you have many seminars?
No, because you're cunts. And you're feared. Where I came from, just whatever you thought you'd do, just think the opposite. From your 3 years old, the kids growing up. We had a kid here a few seminars ago, that went to Eton. The School of Prime Ministers, actually. I don't know, 60, 70% of the prime ministers of Britain went to Eton. His thought process is so alien to mine. It's hard to find words to describe how different. Very nice young guy. Doing very well in the deal, by the way. And if you're listening to me, I'm not going to say your name, but the group and everybody he was a really, articulate, well-mannered, all the things that most of you aren't in this room. Not just this room, any of the seminars that I've given. And well-bred, all the things you're not, or most of you aren't. A couple of you may be close. You think you are. Where's the Dutch dipshit? Oh, now he thinks he's, but he's not. He's just a lying, crook Dutchman. Just like all of them. But that fear thing, and we're going to talk about it a little this morning, is why you have problems implementing QLA, because you still revert back to default about you care what this fuck on the other end of the phone actually thinks. Even if you say you don't care, you care. And when you understand, like somebody, Kat was just telling me this morning, somebody wanted to know if I was Iron Man. Because we get these comments on YouTube, you can comment or want to know if I was Iron Man. I'm a little old to be Iron Man. I assume he meant the movie guy in Iron Man. Anyway, and I'm a lot bigger than the guy that plays Iron Man in TV. Sally and I were at a restaurant the other night, and we took my second mother out. She's 94, and her children, which are my age, and we went to this posh place in Beverly Hills. And a recent 2-time Academy Award-winning alpha male character was sitting one table next to us. One table next to us. He's about this tall, and he weighs $135 if he weighs that much, 135 pounds. But with camera angles and it was quite extraordinary. And then 2 nights before that, we were out to dinner at another place in Beverly Hills where this guy's not an alpha male character, and he plays on NCI Los Angeles. I don't know if that program's here, NCIS Los Angeles. And he is the deputy director of NCIS Los Angeles. He's not the little teeny woman who's this tall, but he's the other, huh?
The ginger guy.
No, the guy that's got a bald head like you. Okay, but they don't use the camera angles with him. He's the same height. He's about this tall. And every once in a while you'll see in the newscast, you'll see somebody like for CNBC or NBC or CNN that's interviewing a guy, and it's a tall politician. So if they stand on a box, and once in a while you'll see, if they fuck up on the angles, you'll see that the person standing on a box interviewed the other guy. And Tom Cruise and all those guys are little guys, and actually petite, little teeny hands. But those guys in the movies that do these heroic things actually think just like you. And they'd react just like you to that deal in that you showed last night. And they explained why that happens and why you react that way. Well, back 60,000 years ago, you didn't react that way. When you had a pair, 60,000 years ago, when you were, you took the woman that you wanted to fuck, you just beat the other guy in the head and you grabbed her. Now, I'm actually a Neanderthal in the wrong century. And the reason why we call this QLA, Quantum Leap, is because in 1993, the night before I came up with the name, I was watching TV, and there used to be a program called Quantum Leap on television, where a guy would go into the past or go into the future, etc. And I was at a J. Abraham seminar at the Los Angeles airport because I was doing my due diligence. I was going to everybody's seminar for a year to see what the competition was or the lack thereof, and what they were really telling these people. And I went to a J. Abraham. I actually paid $5,000. I didn't know that 3/4 of the people are there for fucking free. I didn't know that. I paid $5,000, and they're passing a mic around. Every other person was supposed to get the mic to stand up and say why we were there. So the mic's coming, and the mic was going to go to some little old lady that was sitting next to me. So when they started to pass, I just ripped the mic out of her hand, and I stood up and I said, "My name's Dan Peña, and I am the initiator, inventor of Quantum Leap Advantage." 1 second. You'd be still spreadsheeting the motherfucker to try to find out, does somebody already have the intellectual property on this? I mean, what does it really mean, quantum leap? In 1/100th of a second, I decided that was the name of the shit I was going to do. Based on the program I saw the night before. And then I got up and I talked and explained. And then later on that day, J. Abraham asked, there was about 500 people in the audience, asked me, he said, "Would you like to address the group?" I said, "Sure." The first break was about 9:30, 10. I spoke from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5. I had the group in the palm of my hand. And I said then, this is an easy fucking gig. I was wrong. Remember, never underestimate how wrong you can be. That's when I thought they'd have to queue up 50 across and five miles deep. I was wrong, because in the end, the people didn't want to hear how hard it was. You could make a lot of money, you could make billions, but you had to work your fucking ass off 100 hours a week, and nobody wanted to hear that. But that's how I came up with the name, Quantum Leap. Just as I told Rick Scott, sitting governor of Florida, years before, when he said, "Dan, I need to make the kind of money you make." And I said, "Well, you got to leave me then." And he said, "Where would you go?" Just like you asked me. Where would I go? I said, "Telecommunications, healthcare." This was about 1987, 88. Telecommunications, healthcare. It was telco then. Now it's internet telco. And we're sitting at the table drinking Bloody Marys after he closed the deal. And one of the other guys said, he explained how easy he thought healthcare was. Rick Scott said, "Healthcare it is! You'd still be fucking spreadsheeting it. You'd be doing studies." And Rick founded the largest healthcare company in the world, history, Columbia Healthcare. There's a message here, kids. There's a message. QLA, healthcare, and I can give you countless stories like that. And a couple of you have asked me, you don't really know what you want to do, blah, blah, blah. And I said, pick something. If it works, fine. If not, more. Pivot. But down back in your little pea brain, well, that means I made a mistake. What are people going to think? I fucked up, just like I fucked up all the other parts of my life. Just like I didn't go to medical school, just like I didn't get a PhD, just like I didn't this, didn't that. Now, in this room, funny enough, the 2 or 3 people that have a few shekels have no education. Now, this is an exaggeration. This is a Trump. They can barely write their fucking name. They can barely write their fucking name, as opposed to the people that have multi-degrees, don't have a fucking pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Now, there's a message there as well. Now, this is too heavy for the YouTubers. It's too much for them. I'll get all kind of shit back, you know. Why? You know what they'll shit focus on? Why did you take that mic away from that old lady? And God, I would have cried when I said, but you're no different. You focus on all the fucking moronic shit that doesn't mean a goddamn thing. But I guarantee, even though I've mentioned it, I will get fucking on YouTube. Why did you take the mic? I really slapped the old lady, knocked her fucking false teeth out, and kicked her in the fucking head. So we'll make it worse. So why do you focus on that shit? Why do people ask me if I'm fucking Iron Man? Like I told if you don't like my fucking politics, don't look at my free shit on my website. There's no politics on my website. Why? Because you're pretending to be interested in certain things because it's either vogue or you know you're not where you want to be in life and you feel either your wife told you or somebody told, God, I got to do something. Last night, Charlie and I were talking about sales. They used to call me the fucking hammer because I was a hammer closer. You either bought from me or you fucking died. There was no in between. I had a 94.6% close average. Why did I have such a high close average? Because my sales manager told me, Kelly Norwood, a fucking defrocked lawyer, thief, crook, said, Danny, a boy like you ought to close every motherfucker that comes through the goddamn door. Well, to me, young guy, every motherfucker that equates to 100%. I knew enough about maths, as they say here, 100%. So I hammered them until they bought. It's all about expectations. And so far in life, your expectations have been piss fucking poor. And who gave you those expectations? Mommy and Daddy. Some of you are successful to the extent that you're successful in spite of your parents. To prove to your parents that I don't have to write out the book or the script. Most of the people on YouTube should never read a book, another book, other than, you want to read classics, Shakespeare, shit, that's fine. You never listen to another pod fuck, never read another blog fuck. Better that you put a fucking gun in your head. And it's a metaphorically, so don't give me any shit than if somebody kills himself, 40% of the people that work in America today, 60% of the people spend 40% of their time on the internet while they're working for you. And I already said, if you've got virtual employees, you are fucking stupid. Why do you think they're so cheap? Because they don't do any fucking work. They're working for 7 other people at the same time. You fucking idiots. Except YouTube, praise Allah. And don't give me any Allah shit, death threats. Okay, thanks.